Today we're going to see what's inside a rocket, a 3D printer, a hoverboard, a guitar, binoculars, a diamond, and a bowling ball. Yes, today I'm really happy because that curiosity we have to take things apart, visit factories in our Borovez series, understand how things are made and what they're made of, has finally become a book. We just launched O Que Tem Dentro. You know that here at Manual, we really like to understand the reason behind things, right? How it was made, what material it's made of, why it has this shape. This curiosity has already led us to take apart a lot of things, but also to visit a lot of cool places. So this book is a mix of two series we have here at Manual do Mundo, which are O Que Tem Dentro and Bora Ver. So what are you going to see inside the book? Amazing photos of various things, curiosities, explanations about everything from the most technological things, like the James Webb Space Telescope, to things we use every day, like headphones. The book has explanations about more than 40 different objects and various raw materials that are used to build things. Sand, silver, rubber, wood, diamond, oil, gold. On the cover, you can get a good idea of the objects we're going to talk about inside. But there's an Easter egg here. I'm not going to tell you now, okay? I'll tell you at the end of the video, so take a good look at the cover to see if you notice. Let's go, but what's inside? O que tem dentro? Look, the book starts with basic things we carry in our backpack, like a cell phone, money, a ballpoint pen. By the way, have you ever stopped to think that this pen is called a ballpoint pen because there's a ball at the tip that writes? If we look under a microscope, actually, let's take a look. Look, can you see it clearly? The super hard little ball at the tip? The ink stays behind it, and as the little ball rolls on the paper, it brings the ink along. By the way, in Spanish, this pen is called bolígrafo, which is pretty much the same as the Portuguese esferográfica. Next, we move on to objects related to our leisure, like guitar, bowling ball, and running shoes. In fact, we've already taken apart some running shoes here on Manual do Mundo to see what's inside. And one of them was this one that has this carbon plate here. Then, the book moves on to things we have at home, like how exactly a matchstick works, which has little pieces of glass inside, or even a little toast, electric refrigerator, oven, microwave, and refrigerator. Where's the refrigerator? Where is it? The refrigerator is here. In fact, here is one of the photos I think is the most beautiful in the book, which shows the colors formed in a soap bubble. And then, in the last chapter of the book, we leave the house, we go out there, and that's where we'll find, for example, how an airplane works, a hybrid car, even a robot that needs to walk on Mars. At the end, there's an extra chapter here, an appendix, with explanations about materials. So here, metallic alloys, right? These mixtures of metals that we use in our daily lives, which also have everything to do with Manual do Mundo. Because whenever we show what's inside something, we really analyze these materials. Look, the fiberglass here from the submarine. I don't know if you noticed while I was flipping through, but several pages have a little circle here with a QR code inside. It's a link to the Manual do Mundo videos that talk exactly about the subject of that page. So here, where it explains about the microwave oven, there's a link to us actually taking apart a microwave oven, and you'll notice that there's a link for pretty much everything. So besides reading, you have the chance to actually see it happening in the more than 3,000 videos we've already recorded here on Manual do Mundo, some of which even I sometimes don't remember making. The book is already on sale. I'm leaving the link right here in the video, on the screen itself. And there's also an Amazon link down here in the video description, where you can access all the Manual do Mundo books. I think this one is number 27. That's a lot of books, but they're all really good. Anyone who has a Manual do Mundo book knows that. And yes, there will be a book launch with a signing session. I'll be there on September 6th at the Bienal do Livro. There will be a talk with me and afterwards an autograph session. If you're going to be there that day, make sure to get your pass on the Biennial website beforehand. I'll also be visiting some other cities, so I'm leaving the list here on the side with the time and place. You need to get in touch with these bookstores to find out how things work, how the line and tickets are, and everything else, because it changes depending on the city. They're the ones who organize it, all right? And what was the other thing that was hidden here on the cover? Not so hidden, but there's something you might not have noticed. We changed the Manual do Mundo logo about a month ago. This book ended up being made just a little before we changed the logo. So here's the logo we used from around 2020 until 2026. And down here, we made a kind of tribute to the old logo, that first one from Manual do Mundo. You can tell by the color and everything else that it's very similar to this one. What you might not have noticed right away is that the position of the things here on the cover is identical to the logo. Come take a closer look. Rocket, rocket. Then we have acoustic guitar, guitar. The plastic bottle here and the plastic bottle here. Balloon, balloon. Down here we have a test tube, Erlenmeyer flask. Then there's a bone, the bone too. The car wheel, pencil, crayon, fork, fork. The only thing missing is the chicken, but it's not exactly a biology book, so yeah, it doesn't cover what's inside animals. Look how cool, this logo was designed in 2011, based on the videos we made back then, and now in 2026, we're launching this book. In 2011, it would never have crossed my mind that in 2026, we would have so many cool books published by Manuel de Mundo, and that we would be able to evolve to this point, but without losing our essence. We keep talking about the same things.